Hi everyone, my name is Wirna Ritonga. So here I want to explain about cognitive stylistic analysis of Demi Lovato's lyric, Skyscraper. So let's get started. So firstly, I want to explain to you what is the stylistic. By Ratna, definition of stylistic is a science related to style of language style. But in general, it refers more to language style. In field of language and literature, stylistic means the way of using language that are specific so that it causes certain effect related to aspect of beauty. And according to Dew, stylistic it means used by author to achieve a goal, because stylistic is a way to express the mind, soul, and personality of author in his unique way. Continue to cognitive stylistic. Henry says cognitive ability is a process of thinking, namely the ability of individuals to connect, assess, and consider an event. According to her, cognitive is also a process that occurs internally in the central nervous system when humans are thinking. So, this is 9 cognitive styles. There have been numerous authors who have tried to classification of the type of cognitive styles, explain the purpose of music. This author described 9 different styles of cognitive style, among which the dependent feel independent and reflexivity, impulsivity, dimension. And the first point is feel dependent and independent. And the second one is reflexivity, impulsivity. And the third, scrutinizing. And four, extent of categorization. And five, style conceptualization. And six, complexity and simplicity cognitive. And seven, leveling and worsening. And eight, restrictive control, flexible control. And nine, tolerance and tolerance. And the factors that influence cognitive development include heredity, environmental, maturity, formation, interest and talent factors, and the last one is freedom factor. Before we start to analyze the lyric of song Skyscraper by Demi Lovato, we have to know what is the figure of speech. The Webster New Word Collect Dictionary explained that figurative speech is an expression that substitutes a variation of point of view by which thing or nation which is referred to as if it is different in some ways, and identify degree, shape, from what it actually is or seem to be, but so related to expression successfully implied and intended meaning of effect either or greatly different from what is usually said. Another definition, figure of speech, by Kerat, states that if the expression of language still retains its denotative meaning, contain elements of the continuity of meaning, or there is no attempt to hide something in it, then the language is an ordinary language. Conversely, the expression of language that contains change in meaning, whether in the form of connotative meaning or has deviated far from the denotative meaning, the language is figure of speech. Before we start to analyze cognitive style, lyric Skyscraper by Demi Lovato, we have to know types of figure language. For the first one is comparative majesty. This type of form is a style of language used to pair or compare an object with other object through the process of equalization, overload, or replacement. And the second type is opposition or contradictory majesty. Opposition is style of language that use words that are contrary to the original intent that the author poured out in the sentence. Third, star majesty. Star images are words of the class whose purpose is to insinuate someone or their behavior and condition. The last type is affirmation majesty. Affirmation majesty is type of language that aims to increase the influence of the reader in order to approve an adherence or even. And usually we will find this molecular figure of speech when we want to analyze majas. And this is the result of my analysis of Skyscraper song by Demi Lovato. So you can see the analysis and discussion, which is the white mark is the lyric and the red mark is a figure of speech that I has been found. In the couple one, I have found two kind of figure language, which is the personification and rhetoric. In the lyric Skyscraper, there is majas that contains personification, which is found in the first line of the first couplet. Skies are crying, I'm watching. Why personification? Because based on the definition of personification, which says that this style of language seems to replace the function of inanimate object that can behave like human, and it's really not possible if the sky can cry like human, because those who can cry are people who can feel anything. Next, rhetoric. In the lyric of the song Skyscraper, there are two images that can contain rhetoric. The first images we can see at the 5 and 6 line of the first couplet. Do you have to make me feel like there's nothing left on me? Yeah. Why rhetoric? Because based on the definition of rhetoric, which states that major provide confirmation in the form of questions and tense that do not need to be answered. This is couplet 2, and I found two kind of figure of speech, which is simile and hyperbole. In the lyric of the song Skyscraper, there are three images that can contain simile. The first images we can see at the third line of the second couplet, like a mat of glass. Why simile? Because based on definition of simile, which is almost the same as an association that use the word relationship, word like, or as, it's just that simile is not comparing to different object, but is juxtaposing an activity with an expression. It means the word I is juxtaposed or consider it similar to glass. Similarly, the other two images which are on the fourth line of the second couplet, like I made of paper, and on the last line of second couplet, like a skyscraper, like a skyscraper. There are also simile, which there is the word like, which means there is an object that is paired with another object. Okay, let's continue. In the lyric of the song Skyscraper, there are two images contain hyperbole, and we can see on the fifth line of the second couplet, go on and try to tear me down. And on the line 6 of the second couplet, I will be rising from the ground like a skyscraper. Why hyperbole? Because based on definition of hyperbole, namely expressing something with an excessive impression, even almost doesn't make sense. But just try to tear me down and I will be rising are not sense, because the word tear more suitable for use on inanimate objects such as buildings, and logically there are no objects like human whose bodies can collapse or tear. And majas I will be rising from the ground like a skyscraper. How can human rise up like skyscraper? Where the sky is so far away and that is too much. The other rhetoric master found in third and fourth line of third couplet. Will it make you feel better to watch me while I bleed? Yeah, which is where the lyric want to emphasize his feeling for someone with annoyance in the form of question, and thus are just assertion that don't need an answer. In the lyric, also have a major pleonasm. This form is seen in the fifth line of the third couplet. All my windows still are broken, which is based on the definition of pleonasm that this form use words that have the same meaning, so that it seems inflective. But it is inflectionally to emphasize something. All my windows are broken should be enough to describe the current condition of these windows, but the word still confirms that the windows are still in that state or are not changed.